Namaste. In this recording, we are going to talk about inflecting adjectives and comparing size and age of people or objects. First, let's talk about inflection. Inflection is when the ending of words change. So let's look at the two words on the screen. We have ladka and ladki. Those are very similar, aren't they? It's just the endings are different. For boy, we say ladka. For girl, we say ladki. And those word endings that change, that again is called the inflection. Now, not every language in the world is an inflective language, but Hindi is definitely one that is. And this is kind of a challenging concept for us native English speakers because English doesn't have inflection. So it's a concept that we really have to work at to understand. There are multiple ways in Hindi that inflection is used. One example you've just seen is that when we're talking about a boy or a girl or a man or a woman or a male versus a female, we use inflection in that case. Another way we use inflection in Hindi is when we are talking about someone older or we want to show respect. So look at the word nani. What is nani? Nani is my maternal grandmother. And then we have the word nani ji. So we inflected the word nani with G. By adding the G at the end of nani, we are showing more respect. So inflection is not just about boy and girl. There are multiple ways in which words can be inflected and multiple reasons why. But today we are just going to talk about the difference between male and female. Okay, so let's look at the adjective bada. Bada in Hindi means big. Bada and badi are the two words. So we inflected the adjective bada to become badi. So for the boy on the skateboard, we would describe him as bada, and the little girl with the flower in her hair, we would describe her as badi. Okay, what about a hathi versus a hathni? Hathi is a male elephant. So we would say hathi bada hai. And for the female, we would say hathni badi hai. What about a peacock? A male peacock is a mor. So we say mor bada hai. A female peacock is a morni. So we say morni badi hai. What about a sand? What about sand? Sand is a bull. So by definition, a bull is always a male. So the word badi would never apply to sand. We would always say sand bada hai. What about gai? Gai is a cow. And similar to sand, but in the opposite, a gai is always a female. A cow is always a female. So by definition, gai badi hai. We would never say gai bada hai. Gai badi hai. What about the merman? This is a merman. So would he be bada or badi? If you said bada, very good. What about the mermaid? Would she be bada or badi? Badi, right? She would be badi. What about this boy? Bada or badi? Bada. And the girl, she is badi. Now, let's look at another adjective in Hindi. Chota and choti. Chota and choti means small or little. Small or little. So this little girl would be chota or choti. Choti, right? And what about the mermaid? Again, choti, right? And the little baby? Well, if you're not sure, we can use our context clues. So look at the picture. She has a pink ribbon on her head. So most people would probably say that this is a little girl. So we would probably describe her as choti. What about the little dog? The little dog, well, we don't know if this is a boy dog or a girl dog. And that leads us to a whole nother discussion about sangya in Hindi. Sangya means nouns. And that's a whole separate lesson. But for right now, what we'll assume is that this is a boy dog. So we'll say, kutta chota hai. Kutta chota hai. And what about the hathi? Hathi bada hai. Hathi bada hai. Or if it was a baby elephant, we would say hathi chota hai. Cheating. Cheating. Now, what do we say for cheating? Bada, badi, chota, choti. We would say cheating choti hai. Cheating choti hai. And what about the veil? Veil is bada, badi, chota, choti. Veil choti hai. Veil choti hai. And what about the dinosaurs? Dinosaur bada hai. Dinosaur bada hai. And what about the butterfly? Bada, badi, chota, choti. Well, butterfly in Hindi we say titli. Titli choti hai. Titli choti hai. And what about this little baby? Let's assume this is a little baby boy. Baby chota hai. Baby chota hai. And what about the pelican? Pelican bada hai. Pelican bada hai, right? Pelicans are very big birds. Okay, now let's look at the little boy and the baby. So baby chota hai, ladka bada hai. And here, nani badi hai, ladka chota hai. Dinosaur bada hai, चिड़िया choti hai. Now, is the mom badi or choti? She's badi, right? The mom is badi compared to her daughter. Billi chota hai or billi choti hai? Billi choti hai. Cheetie choti hai. Baby choti hai. Ladki choti hai. Mor chota hai. Now, let's talk about how to compare things. How do we compare the size, for example, between an elephant and a frog? Well, the elephant is bigger than the frog, right? So we still use our adjectives that we've learned, bada and chota. But let's see how we package them differently so that we can create a sentence that says the elephant is bigger than the frog. The elephant is bigger than the frog. So we say hathi मेढक से बड़ा है. So hathi of course is elephant. Medak is how we say frog in Hindi. And we add this word se. By adding the word se, that's kind of like the equivalent of the word than in English. Like the elephant is bigger than the frog. Hathi medak se bada hai. What about a shark is bigger than a seahorse? Well, shark in Hindi is shark, and seahorse is samudri ghodi. So we say shark samudri ghodi se badi hai. Shark samudri ghodi se badi hai. What about Samir is older than Suraj? Samir Suraj se bada hai. Because these are both boys. We used bada because they're both boys, and of course we add our word se to compare the age of Suraj and Samir. Samir Suraj se bada hai. How about Papa is bigger than Ajay? Papa Ajay se bada hai. Papa Ajay se bada hai. Or if you wanted to show more respect to Papa, you could say Papa Ajay se bade hain. Papa Ajay se bade hain. So there's bada and bade. Do you hear the difference? That's another inflection. Nisa is the youngest. Nisa sab se choti hai. Sab means out of everyone or everyone. Nisa sab se choti hai. What about Diya Didi is the eldest? Diya Didi sab se badi hai. दिया दीदी सबसे बड़ी है. What about a female peacock is smaller than a male peacock? मोरनी मोर से छोटी है. मोरनी मोर से छोटी है. The cat is smaller than the dog. The cat is smaller than the dog. बिल्ली कुत्ता से छोटी है. बिल्ली कुत्ता से छोटी है. So, those are all of our examples for today. Thank you so much for listening and keep practicing your Hindi. See you later.